We'll have ourselves a cold night on the way across Keloland, especially to the east, with low temperatures in the single digits and low teens. Not as cold further west, we'll go teens and 20s, but it is still going to be breezy even as we head into your day on Tuesday. 30s to the east and to the north by that measure, but you notice the further west and southwest you go, 50s and a couple of low 60s not out of the question. So nice spring preview. It's a shame it doesn't last. We'll talk about the rest of your 7-day forecast coming up. First at 4 starts right now.
Live from Keloland Media Group, Keloland News first at 4.
We have the latest on the investigation into a house explosion in Madison as authorities urge people to dig out their gas meters.
Plus, what happens now to two banks that collapsed last week and the impact it could have on you?
And later, the main part of the legislative session is now done in Pierre. We're going to talk with our reporters about the hot button issues. Good afternoon, and thanks for tuning in to First at 4. I'm Don Jorgensen.
And I'm Kelly Volk. Authorities say another gas meter buried in snow played a role in a house explosion along Lake Madison this weekend.
The fire department tells Keloland News that no one was in the home during the explosion and no one was hurt. This is the second home explosion in Madison in the past couple of weeks. The other one happened on February 23rd. No one was hurt in that incident either.
Firefighters say that in both home explosions, there was more than 10 feet of snow on the gas meter. Authorities are urging homeowners to make sure their meters are free of snow, especially with more winter weather on the way.
Well, this weekend's freezing and thawing of snow is creating some icy conditions on the roads across Keloland. One of our news crews driving along I-29 reported solid ice this morning between Sioux Falls and Madison. Traffic this morning was also moving along slowly due to the long stretches of ice.
Yeah, I was out there as a bit of a slow go.
A little scary, huh?
Yeah, I didn't love being out there, but...
Well, I suppose not, but it sounds like we got some warmer weather on the way.
Yeah,
a little bit anyway.
For some of us, at least, not everybody's going to get in on as warm of a day as others. Basically, the rule of thumb is going to be simple. The further south and west you go, the more likely you are to warm up into Wednesday. Everybody else, we're going to try. At least we have sunshine in Watertown, 22 with a north wind at 8 miles per hour. Certainly not bad at all. And we're even looking all right in Falls Park. We had a very cloudy start to the day, but we're finally getting in on some sunshine. 26 at the airport, a north wind at 7 miles per hour. And that current temperature is also our high in Sioux Falls as of this hour. 26 is your high in Mitchell so far today, 24 Pierre. We only got up to 18 in Mulbridge, 19 for Aberdeen, 26 in Phillip. But you notice out to the west, 34 is your high temperature today for Rapid City, 37 Pine Ridge and Spearfish, 35 in Custer. Not bad. It's a start. We're going to get even warmer than that as we head through the short term. 25, Chamberlain and Mitchell, 19 in Aberdeen, 25 Faith, 35 for Custer, 26 Yankton, 25 in Spencer. And it hasn't been too windy today, especially East River. To the west, though, that wind has been picking up a little bit. It's now around 10 to 20 miles per hour out of the south, or if you're in Faith, it's a wind at 25 miles per hour. So satellite radar hasn't had a whole lot to go on today. Again, cloud cover was pretty stubborn further to the south and east, but even that is starting to erode temporarily. It's not going to be a completely cloudy day tomorrow. It's also not going to be a completely sunny day either. We'll call it a mix of sun and clouds, especially in the morning. For the southeastern portion of Keloland, sunshine tries to win out a little bit more toward the afternoon. 30s for much of the area, 40s though toward Wagner and Yankton. For your day tomorrow in the northeastern portion of Keloland, though, we're talking about mainly 30s near 40 toward Miller. And out west, this is what I'm talking about. 40s, Faith and Mulbridge. 50s and even low 60s not out of the question toward the southwestern corner of South Dakota. Spring starts in a week, but winter's not going down without a fight. We'll talk about that as we head through the hour.
Thanks, Adam. Well, today the White House is assuring Americans their money is safe.
This comes after Friday's failure of Silicon Valley Bank, the second largest bank failure in U.S. history. And now federal authorities are stepping in.
Keloland News Washington, D.C. correspondent Anna Wernicke is in Washington with more.
Today, President Biden addressed the banking crisis, telling Americans that our banking system is safe and any effort to protect the bank's customers won't cost taxpayers.
Americans can have confidence that the banking system is safe.
President Biden says the U.S. deployed emergency measures to stop a potential banking crisis, including the seizure of another regional bank on Monday, Signature Bank of New York.
All customers who had deposits in these banks can rest assured, they'll be protected.
But California Democrat Ro Khanna, who represents Silicon Valley, said on CBS Face the Nation that the investors and executives of the bank need to be held accountable.
I have no sympathy for the executives, no sympathy for people who have stock there. But the depositors are protected.
Democrats blame the Silicon Valley bank collapse on Trump administration efforts to relax regulations on small and medium-sized banks. Republicans say the Biden administration is to blame.
The Biden administration, they need to take ownership in what this economy is doing. They're the ones that have been printing money. You know, they're the ones that have got a budget that keeps borrowing.
And some Republicans say the government shouldn't step in.
We cannot keep bailing out private companies because there's no consequences to their actions.
Lawmakers say they want to get to the bottom of this and say they plan to hold hearings to ensure this doesn't happen again. For now, in Washington, I'm Anna Warnicki. Back to you.
KELOLAND digital reporter Ray Yo spoke with banking experts here in South Dakota about how this collapse impacts you. You can read her story in the KELOLAND.com original on our website.
Sanford Health is trying to make it easier for people to take care of their mental health. Starting March 13th, people can self-schedule virtual appointments with mental health professionals. Doctors say this is very important for rural areas. People can use the My Sanford Chart app or website to schedule and talk with a mental health professional online.
The statistics are unbelievable that over 90% of our service areas are in a mental health shortage area. We know that 60% of your health is determined by your zip code and not your genetic code. And we know that roughly 2/3 of our patients with mental illness are not receiving any care.
That's why Sanford is trying to do things differently. The expansion of virtual mental health care is funded in part by a recent donation by T. Denny Sanford.
15 students in the Sioux Falls School District will take the stage later this month for a TEDx youth event. This allows students to spark deep discussion and the issues impacting them. TEDx event will be held on March 24th at 7 p.m. at Jefferson High School. Tickets are on sale now. It's $5 for students and $15 for adults.
The Toy Lending Library in Sioux Falls has experienced significant growth in recent years. The nonprofit that lends toys to young children had families borrow more than 6,000 toy boxes last year, a 50% increase over 2021. It has since grown its space at First United Methodist Church. Now the Toy Lending Library is in the process of moving down the hall to an area 3 times the size. We'll tell you what the additional square footage means to the organization tonight on KELOLAND News at 6.